Where's the button?
Did I screw it up? I pushed it.
No, it's live.
It just took a minute to load.
What up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to our, I guess, unofficial Halloween episode, even though none of us dressed up or anything. Does anybody have any Halloween costumes planned or dressing up planned in their future? Are we too old for that now?
No, Pat's stitching up his hoodie like a
that's it.
He's among us now, I guess.
Pat is from Anonymous. I'm at that age where my kids now, they don't want me to go trick-or-treating with them.
Oh, there you go.
My daughter's going out with my wife and her friends, and my son's like, Dad, I'm going out with my friends. I'm fine.
So what do we think? What
puts it on his beer?
What do you think the costume of the trendy costume is? It going to be PlayStation buttons from Squid Games? You think?
Oh yeah, Squid Games in the jumpsuit.
100%.
We actually tried to find those, but they're hard to find.
Isn't it just a mask with a PlayStation button on it?
Well, but I think, listen, you can make one, but I think, the kids want these as authentic as possible. So,
You need medicine, Izzy?
All right, guys. All right, let's start the show. I made a little intro for Halloween. Let's
you made an intro, buddy?
For Halloween.
Let's see how it works. Turn your volume down.
We'll see.
Turn it up.
Test it. Okay. All right. Here we go.
You didn't. That was good. That
took me an hour. Yeah. Okay.
I hope that was worth the hour of your time.
That's why you had no news.
Yeah, I was busy working on that for an hour, learning stupid tutorials for this thing. All right, guys, welcome to What I Miss, our weekly news show where we search the internet far and wide to find the news that should matter to you. Well, at least Rob does. I don't do it very well. I'm your host, Chris, and this is my co-host, Pat. And picture gatherer. We have our
picture gatherer, reporter.
Below me, we have our esteemed panel.
Reporter.
John and Rob, co-hosts of the Heroes World podcast and the Sidekick Show. Say what up, guys.
What up, guys?
Hi, party people.
Perfect. So our first bit of news, we'll get straight into it because Pat has a, what do they call it? A deadline of getting out of here by 9. We're going to start with the big release of this past week was Dune. Dune takes the top spot at the box office. Surprisingly so, I think, in my opinion, did a lot better than I thought it would do. It also topped viewership numbers for HBO Max, according to Samba TV, which is, I guess, only exclusively reports to Variety about some U.S. They report some U.S. Only streaming numbers about HBO Max and rentals and things like that. They said it topped the Snyder Cut for most watched over the weekend at 1.9 million households streaming it. So these guys did a very good deep dive review of the movie Dune in their main Heroes World podcast. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the big news. I guess what everyone had questioning going into it was, would this be successful enough to warrant a sequel? So on Tuesday, they announced that Dune 2 has been greenlit with director, let me try to get this, Denis Villeneuve returning.
Denis Villeneuve.
Okay, whatever. That French guy, returning for part 2 with a release date of October 20th, 2023. What do you guys think? Are you happy to hear this news?
Dune 2, Judgment Day, right?
No? Technically, it's Dune 1 Part 2.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Yes, it is.
Dune Book
Part
1,
2.
Part 1?
No, it's just Dune Part 2. It's actually on the screen. It says Dune Part 2. That was officially released, man.
I actually think, okay. So last week, exactly a week ago, I said
like
I was
Leo
excited about this movie. Coming out of the movie, I said to John, I'll be very disappointed if they didn't make a sequel. Or sorry, if they didn't continue it.
Yeah. You texted me at like 1:53 in the morning. You sent me a message. And you're like, yo.
I was like, that guy's asleep for sure.
And I
You're
said,
like, yo, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you have to do is tell me whether or not there's a part 2 coming.
That was exactly it. The movie was like 6 hours. So by the time we left the movie, it was really late. And I texted and I was like, man, I hope they make a sequel. And then when I texted, John said you were going to be asleep, and I said it's okay. He can reply when he wakes up.
I was like,
And I
that
did.
MFR is totally asleep. It was like,
And I
what was
said,
it?
"It's
One
okay."
120
And you did.
something.
It was 153 or something. I was like, what the hell?
Well, that's the time we left. Like that's when we left the movie. That's how long it was.
Yeah. So listen, I'm gathering from you, Pat, that you're happy about this.
I was very pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised.
I'm
pleasantly surprised.
I am really excited that this is going forward. Like, I really want to go back and watch it again. I know that Lewis is like, no, I'm out. I'm not watching Dune. I don't plan on seeing it. It's too bad because I'm honestly, I want to go back. I know our friend Fraser, who I don't think he's on tonight, but he went to IMAX to see it, and that's probably what the next thing I want to do is go check it out on IMAX. So I'm stoked when they announced it. I think all of us, the United Geek Nation, were sitting around twiddling our thumbs Monday and Tuesday, going, "Okay, Warner Brothers, what the fuck? Let's go make that announcement, right?" And yeah, so I'm happy.
I mean, considering how the movie started, the title card was Dune Part 1, and the way the movie ended, it would be kind of a slap in the face if they didn't do the sequel. Or they didn't finish the story. I can't call it a sequel because it felt like it wasn't finished.
No, but Denny has come out this week saying he wants to make a trilogy, which would be Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, and I guess an adaptation of Dune Messiah, which I don't know that book or that property, but he says that apparently finishes out what he believes the proper way of telling the story would be. So based on how he's done with Part 1, I'm down for a right proper trilogy. This movie is transformative, man. I'm telling you, it's great. Chris, did
I think
you
it's
see
definitely worth your time. Everybody in chat who says this movie looks like they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
There were parts that were a little long and like
That's what she said.
I felt like the movie could have been cut a little bit, like in terms of like minor sections, but overall the movie was well worth your time.
Yeah, I watched. To answer your question, Rob, I did watch it at home. I enjoyed it.
That's right. You didn't like it too much.
No, I enjoyed it. I thought watching it, I was thinking in my head like, oh, I don't know how this is going to be successful. It's not very mainstream in my opinion. It was very like, I guess like sci-fi heavy, things like that. So I thought it wouldn't be, but I was wrong, and I'm happy because I do want to see a second one.
Yeah.
I think I missed out on a big part of it not watching it in theaters though. That was I think it's a very different experience watching it from home.
That's a really good question, Lewis. I actually don't know.
James Bond definitely felt longer.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Dune was only 2.5 hours. James Bond was almost 3 hours, right?
James Bond definitely felt longer.
Which one did you like better?
I don't think
Dune for sure.
I don't think I would ever consider watching James Bond again. How about that?
There you go. But you would watch Dune again, so I guess that's your. Yeah.
If you put a gun to my head and said you have to spend 3 hours watching one of these movies for a second time, I watch Dune again. I would not watch James Bond again.
All right, great guys. Since we are moving along, should I play Pat's intro?
Oh, are we doing my bit already? In case I have to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go straight into Picks with Pat. Let's start it up.
Let's cue Jay Jonah.
Oh, you want to? Okay. Let's do it.
They're crap. Mega crap.
Still the
still
best
so
thing.
good.
Still so good.
Three in and it's still so good.
Oh, okay. Man, 3 weeks in. So what did I find off the internet this week in terms of visual things?
Oh, dirty.
Shut up. So first of all, I don't know if you guys saw this. If you didn't, that's why I'm here. They revealed kind of like this Miss Marvel image. That kind of is supposed to be what her powers or what her powers will be in the show. And I think a lot of people kind of already saw that and said, "Oh, they're immediately changing Miss Marvel's powers." I don't know if you guys read Miss Marvel or have ever read Miss Marvel, but in the comic book, she's an Inhuman, and her powers are the ability to stretch.
Embiggen, isn't that what she calls it?
She calls it embiggening, but she can stretch and change.
So
her
Green
size.
Lantern fist is not normally her thing.
Exactly.
A giant
stretchy
fist
fist.
is not
It's like
her
a giant
power.
stretchy fist usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But in the show or in the upcoming MCU, she might have her powers changed to Green Lantern fist. We don't know. There's a lot of discussion that like the internet and people are rumors are saying that they're probably going to avoid using the term Inhuman because they technically do exist, right? The Inhumans, there was a show, so we don't know where
was that TV show sucked,
and apparently it sucked. But it looks like she's going to have her powers.
The people from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were Inhumans too, right? Like that's how they.
It was supposed to be the same universe, but they kind of retconned all of that. Anyway,
remember when they thought they were going to get rid of X-Men and mutants and everything was going to be called Inhuman or something like that?
Yeah.
And we were like, get out of here.
And then Disney bought Fox and everything is fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if you guys were excited about Ms. Marvel. I personally am very excited considering how the actress is from Markham, repping our city. So I'm really, really hoping it's successful. So
yeah, I'm excited for the show. I couldn't give a flying fuck about these power issues and all the people who are complaining and being upset about it and it's magic or it's it's not like whatever, man. I'm out. I don't have no patience for shit like that. So bring on.
Her powers are irrelevant, like her story is she's like a Muslim girl.
Yeah, that's the main part of that's yeah.
Yeah.
So
whether or not she punches people with crystal fists or the giant stretching fist, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to stay completely strict and true to the comics. We've seen that in many cases go awry, right? So, yeah, free license to do whatever you want.
Oh, sorry. Next, first look at the Black Manta costume from the new Aquaman movie.
John, this is your guy. I need to hear what you think, John.
So the biggest difference is that it's extremely shiny. This movie.
It's hella shiny. It's buffed up to the max.
Yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say the costume looks pretty ridiculous. Always look kind of ridiculous. Now it's just ridiculous.
No, but this one he's going for like I don't know if you pulled a picture of the original suit. The original suit looked more like armor and it had like these hoses and tanks on it. This looks more like a traditional superhero muscle suit.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're trying to change up here or whatever. I did really like that costume from Aquaman, but a lot of people didn't. So make it shiny makes it better, I guess.
Well, the costume's pretty ridiculous to begin with, so making it live action was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
if you're gonna do it, that's the thing. Like, you have a character who's got the most absurd looking helmet in the comics. You just go for it, and they did, right? Like, why make it look like something that's really practical? People are like, oh, come on, we want to see the big giant. We want to see
a pair of goggles. It's like a pair of goggles.
Yeah, exactly. We want to see the Stewie head, right, from Family Guy. So give it to them, and that's what they got. You know what? We know that Aquaman's getting a new costume as well. He's getting that blue and black costume, so maybe it ties. This is like some type of Atlantean armor suit, so maybe it ties into that. I mean, aside from the helmet. But the actual suit, right? So that's maybe why the change from what John really liked about Black Manta in the first one.
Is it more accurate to what a manta actually looks like?
None of this is relevant.
Do you have a picture of a manta as well? No picture of Manta. All right, we'll never know.
No,
that movie was pretty generally over the top too. So like not taking itself too serious. Yeah, not taking itself too seriously. Like I remember that scene where they're walking off the beach with the Pitbull song playing, and me and John just laughing out loud so hard about just it's so silly.
But before you move on from this, though, did you hear about the controversy? Well, I guess not controversy, but the news about Black Manta this week. In that if you remember, was so after Aquaman, movie. James Wan was going to do The Trench. It was like supposed to be a low budget horror movie with the trench characters, right? That where you saw those kind of crazy fish people from the first movie. Well, supposedly he said that it was actually like a secret. It was supposed to be a secret Black Manta movie. And Warner Brothers had nixed it. And it's just kind of too bad because that was one of the great things about the first Aquaman movie was Black Manta. So it really would have been interesting to see how that you were expecting. Could you imagine you're sitting here expecting this trench movie and all of a sudden it comes out as a trailer for Black Manta
and Black Manta shows up and is the hero of the movie? That would have been the sickest thing ever.
Yeah. So okay, just thought I'd give you some context, Pat.
Thank you. Next, Hawkeye movie poster dropped earlier this week. I'm really excited about the show, so I wanted to tell everybody.
Get out.
I'm
Haley
the only one
Steinfeld?
excited about the show.
Yeah.
2 episodes dropping November 24th.
I think this would be a cool show to like not watch until Christmas Day and then watch like the whole thing. It's like only like
Lucky's in it.
six episodes. That'd be cool.
The posters are
The dog is wearing a Santa hat.
Yeah, it's Lucky the pizza dog.
Okay.
And are those
John.
Christmas lights on the bridge?
But John, look at the way this poster is done. It's reminiscent of Matt Fraction's run.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. His entire
Uh-huh.
run was like this arrow thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I know we kind of paced this incorrectly.
Did we know that it was a 2-episode premiere? Did we know
Yes.
they were going to drop 2 at a time? Okay.
Yep, back
Cool.
back in September, Marvel dropped the when they did that big trailer for it. They said, "Hey, first 2 episodes dropping." We actually covered it, John.
Yeah, John.
Get
Yeah,
out, really?
John. So the countdown
I don't
begins.
remember what happened yesterday.
Less than 30 days away. Hawkeye. Next. I know we were talking about Warner Brothers previously, but I really wanted to discuss this because it is a video game related thing. This thing is a teased, leaked screenshot of a Warner Brothers fighting game that's kind of maybe in the works. The fact that this went on Twitter and was stricken down by copyright leads credence to the fact that it actually might be real. So there was a rumor of a Warner Brothers properties video game. It was supposed to be kind of done. I don't think so, Lewis. I don't think it's MOBA. I think it's a Smash Brothers clone. So with Warner Brothers properties, so we have
Rick Sanchez,
Batman,
baby.
Harley Quinn, the Adventure Time guys.
We know
Scooby-Doo.
we know who all those guys are. Who are the first 2 guys?
The character in the top left is supposedly a new character, and the character right next to the new character is the character from Steven Universe.
Oh, Steven Universe. Okay.
Yeah.
But then there's Gandalf, there's Bugs
Gandalf.
Bunny, there's Tom and Jerry,
Yeah.
there's Shaggy. Like, you got to think about it. Can you imagine your Pinky in the Brain versus, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo? I mean, come on.
Well, who
Yeah,
wins this fight on the screen right now? Is it not Tom
Superman.
and Jerry? They're invincible.
What do you mean they're invincible?
What's Superman going to do against Tom and Jerry?
No, Rick Sanchez wins.
Take them
all
out
matchups,
of
John.
into space where there's
smartest man in any multiverse.
no.
But it doesn't matter. It's a Smash Brothers game.
I
Come
think
on.
it could be. I don't know, man. It could be a Capcom versus Marvel type of idea.
I will give you.
We wish, Rob. We wish you were right.
If it's an MVC style game. But anyway, so I just wanted to bring it up because I tried looking for this photo afterwards, and I couldn't find it on Twitter because every time it showed up on Twitter, you would just see that this picture has been removed due to copyright.
Oh, we're gonna get taken down. Oh shoot!
Right.
We're gonna.
So
get
I had to find it off some other website. But anyways, next, moving on. So
whatever that company
I don't want- in
D44
case I get
are gonna
taken
come
down.
at us.
So last week I had showed
Oh,
everybody
okay. Yeah.
some Ninja Turtles. The Raphael Frankenstein. They announced that there's a Leonardo Igor. Just throwing that out there in case you guys cared.
Yeah.
Why Igor?
Why not?
Seems a little.
It's part of
weird.
NECA's Halloween 31 Days of Fright reveals.
I know, but
That's all they
Igor's
did.
not a very scary. Like, he's like he's such a.
It's Frankenstein, the Mummy, Count Dracula,
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
The Mummy.
I said the Mummy.
Did you?
I just said the Mummy 2 seconds ago, Rob.
I can't remember what happened yesterday.
You can't remember what happened 2 minutes, like 30 seconds ago, not even.
Wicked
Anyways,
burn.
Yeah, go on.
Stumbling over yourself. No, but Igor's not a.
Force choke you from here.
Igor's not a very it's just a weird character that I don't know.
Remember that movie Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like,
Yes.
that's the forgotten Disney movie.
Yeah.
And forgotten by you. I remember.
Who's in it? Who does the voices?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's so. You can't say I forgot that movie.
What's
just
one of the
because I don't
songs
remember
from it? What's the song from it?
God Help the Outcast, sung by Esmeralda.
I think.
I got a hunch. I got a hunch.
Are we gonna, are we going to
wrong.
are we gonna spin off into like a Disney No, we're not having a Disney conversation. But anyway,
I'm just saying it's the forgotten Disney movie, and I think justly so.
Well,
No,
whatever.
I
It
think
doesn't matter.
Right
is
under
Chicken Little.
the David Spade llama one. It's like right under there.
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove. That was good.
All right.
but nobody
Anyways,
remembers
going on to Leonardo
All right,
and
toys.
Igor.
Teenage Mutant
Igor?
Ninja Turtles, NECA Monsters. Let's go.
All right.
We got called nerds by, I thought so.
No, you got called the nerd.
No,
Smart
you.
pants.
All right, next
I
picture.
love
Let's
talking
go.
about toys. Let's talk about some new HasLab reveals. So Hasbro does this ridiculous thing where they crowdsource toys. I don't understand why a big company, a multi-million-dollar company, needs to crowdsource toys, but here we are. They're making a brand new Sky Striker and a 6-inch scale Rancor. I know you guys don't really care about toys, but I know John does. So, John, what's your thoughts on this Sky Striker G.I. Joe plane that nobody else likes but you?
Sky Striker, I really always wanted that when we were kids, Chris. We always had like the leftover Cobra vehicles. So we had like 2 copies of the Cobra Mamba, which actually is pretty badass when you think about it now. But back in the day, it wasn't as exciting as this friggin' Sky Striker. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what you're gonna do with those little carts in the background. Like, is that for their luggage and stuff?
It's to load the missiles.
Okay, I can't wait till we have the missile loading accessory. The Rancor has always been like this very ugly Star Wars thing, so I'm actually surprised it gets so much love. Because look at it, like this version of it definitely looks better than the movie version. I think it's been some time since I saw the movie, but I don't know. It's always been this really funky looking dude. But sure, go nuts. If I had to choose between the two, I'd choose the Jet. Yeah,
no, I mean, I would choose the Rancor because I don't like G.I. Joes, but that's why I threw that over to you, John. We had a bunch of people asking about how accurate is that F-14 Tomcat. Somebody
talk to Rob. Rob, how
like
accurate is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's F-6. I don't know, John. You're the one that likes planes and like Top Gun.
I don't think the tail fins are to scale.
The ratio of
the front wheels are definitely not.
I didn't think you would actually know. Can we just move on?
The only thing you can critique is I don't think that much ordnance would fit on it, and it would still be able to get into the air. Like, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got a problem.
Okay, well, these are HasLab projects. So, like I said, if anybody watching that's interested in this Sky Striker or this Rancor, check the Hasbro website. And they actually also announced this fast replica.
Before Sarah makes a joke about that stuff on the back of that proton pack. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes. The last thing they're crowdsourcing is a replica of the proton backpack.
Now that's the new proton backpack, I believe. Right?
Yes,
for
sure. It's the one. Well, I mean, it's trademark 2021, so yeah, probably the new one.
Yeah, it's from the new Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can't take it to school with you.
Why not?
Like, did you say it's a backpack, or are you just?
Oh, no, it's a prop backpack.
It's a prop. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like you can't put your fruit snacks in it.
Do you mean your lunch can't fit inside?
Because that's what I'm wondering if what's leaking out. That is like, oh shit, I forgot my tuna sandwich, and it's now not doing.
No. It's a backer exclusive goo accessory. That's it.
Okay. Well, who doesn't want to have a goo accessory?
And with that, I'm done. Chris, you're up.
Yeah.
All right.
That's usually what happens after the goo accessory.
We got about 5 minutes before Pat has to go, so I'm gonna just skip right to his story that the last story he has a picture for. News bits. There's a Buzz Lightyear waiting in the sky. On Wednesday, Disney Pixar released its trailer for Lightyear, an origin story for a fictional toy, Buzz Lightyear, from the classic movie Toy Story. And it'll be voiced by Captain America himself, Chris Evans. Now, the internet was buzzing about this, I guess, for 2 main reasons.
Oh, nice,
I like what you did there.
Nice.
Okay, so the internet was looking at this picture. The internet was buzzing over 2 things. First, how does this fit into the Toy Story movie canon? And the second thing was, surprise, Buzz Lightyear has hair.
Okay, that's
great. So
that's great. Okay, we have to hand it to Pat. That was great.
Yeah. So let's help the the masses figure this out. How do we answer the first question? How does this fit into the Toy Story movie canon? Is this a, I guess, animated live action version of a?
It's a fucking cartoon.
No, it's a show inside of a movie.
Well, you know, so apparently this is what the toy is based off of.
Yeah. This is clearly the guy that Buzz Lightyear toy action figure is based off of.
Right. And listen, I suspect, you know what? Listen, it's going to be one of those things that looks very much like, you know, we're not going to play the trailer here, but for those who have seen it, it looks very much, it harkens to Empire Strikes Back, to Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, rather, especially Buck Rogers, flying through that and getting lost into another time and into the future and all that stuff. So the reality is he's probably an astronaut going around, punts off into the future, finds that outfit, and he gets sent back, and then, you know, people are like, oh my god, look at this thing, right? And they make a toy out of it. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's not a
but
movie
who cares?
based on a live action movie based on the toy inside the Toy Story universe.
I think that's what it is, right? This has to be like, because in the Toy Story movie, like Buzz Lightyear legitimately believes he's like Buzz Lightyear, who's like some galaxy hero. Is this not the galaxy hero that he thinks he is? This
suit looks hype. It looks good.
It's the same suit, bro.
No, the proportions and stuff. It looks like a legit spaceman suit.
It does.
Like, it looks cool. It doesn't look
like the way the Buzz Lightyear toy. It's really like bulky at the top, and it looks really weird. But like,
yeah, well, yes. Regardless, we're all gonna go see it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the trailer was really cool. I mean, the song choice was so on the nose that I loved it, though.
What was your second question?
That was it. And the hair. Surprised he has hair. That's what people were reacting to.
Yeah. How do we explain the hair?
Was it? Hang on. Was it not just always covered? I thought it was always covered. Look,
he's
never had hair. It's always been the purple. The over his head. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Covering his head.
In theory, no hair can fit under there right now. Like, for sure. Like, how are you hiding hair under that thing?
It's when astronauts put on that cap over their head and then the helmet. That's all it is.
Are you telling me every astronaut doesn't have hair, John? Get out of here.
Has Buzz worn anything other than the spacesuit in the cartoon? Yes.
No,
that's part of the reaction. Like, oh my god,
is he a toy?
It's so crazy to see him with hair.
He once wore. I think he once wore the doily dress from Little Miss Muffet.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it. Now who's in
on
there?
top of his space outfit?
He's a toy, John.
Because it's a toy.
Toy Story.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Lewis. We know.
And with that, we say bye to Pat.
Wait, for real? Shouldn't Pat be the one that says I'm leaving?
John really just wanted to use that.
Oh, Pat's not actually leaving at all.
No, I gotta
he
go
said he was leaving.
But like, John really just wanted to use that. That's it. Anyways, carry on.
Okay, well, I'll start getting the other news, and then if Pat wants to just drop, he can just drop. Okay, so the big news of the day, critics' scores for Marvel's Eternals are in, and not so great. It currently sits at Rotten Tomatoes score of 62%, which is the lowest of any MCU
Is it dropped
movie.
again?
Last I checked, it was 62. John's going to bring it up in a second.
I'm going to pull up a live.
He's going to pull up a live feed of it.
Bam.
Pat, you got about 2 minutes. Oh, jeez, John.
Okay, so whatever. Sorry, that's what you get for using an ad blocker.
Turn off your ad blocker, John. No,
it's 62%.
Okay. Let's get a 1 minute reaction from Pat first before he has to go. What do you think of this?
I'm
Pat?
so sad. I was hoping it would be good. Wait, hang on. Is this better? Is it the worst one?
Yes.
You said?
Yeah. Yes. Now it's worse than Thor: Dark World.
No.
Yeah.
The lowest
currently.
Yes. Currently, yeah. It can always move up and down as more reviews come up.
Marvel, John, since you have it up, what was Captain Marvel?
He can't tell. He's got a damn ad blocker.
I got my ad blocker on. Hold on. Okay, here's this. So it is in fact 62%, but no audience score at all, obviously.
Yeah.
And what did you want? Captain America?
No, Captain Marvel.
I'm just curious.
Wouldn't Thor 2 be lowest?
People generally liked Captain Marvel, didn't they?
Captain Marvel is 79%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way better. Isn't the threshold for certified fresh like 75%?
No clue.
I'm so sad this movie sucks.
So
Dark World is 66. Thor Dark World is 66.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys mentioned that already.
So here's what happened was that obviously we know that Disney had their premiere a couple weeks ago and they had some critics and the buzz wasn't that great. People were like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not what it's not the type of gold we're used to, and it's really convoluted, yada yada yada. So apparently the scuttlebutt is Disney said, hey, we gotta like bring up these scores. Let's do some more critic viewings, some more press viewings beforehand. And so they did like a week and a half of press viewings. People came out saying, oh yeah, no, that is pretty shit. And then the score went even further down.
That shit backfired.
Yes, because they figured they were about 75 or 76 at that time, and they wanted to keep going up. And they're like, we'll just get more people to watch it. And people said, thanks.
You know what? That's what you guys get. You guys should have been happy with the 70-something%, and you decide to open it up, and that's what you get.
Yeah, you got greedy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does this take off a little bit of the excitement that you guys have for seeing this? I'm seeing it opening weekend on the Saturday. So is there a little bit of a? I
think we're all going to still go see it. Yeah.
I'm definitely I would be a lot more okay with having to pee halfway through this movie now that it's 65.
Yeah.
Right. The movie is 90 minutes, and he's like, I'm going to go take a piss anyways.
Right.
John, has it kind of worn?
My hype level for this movie has never been at the upper echelon yet. I did like that last trailer they dropped, so I don't know. Yeah, it seems like bad news. Like it's not great.
That's really rude, Sarah. Gordon's a nice guy. How
dare you crap talk Gordon? Take that back, Rob.
That's horrible. That's not me. It's Sarah. She called him mediocre. Listen. So for me, I'm kind of like, oh, all right. Like I'm still gonna go see it. I'm seeing it on a Saturday morning because I'm saving some money that way, and I'm like, all right. But I think some people I've said there who have seen the critics who have seen Dune and seen this are like, yeah, this got out-Duned. So, in terms of its like kind of like space adventure and otherworldly type stuff. So we'll see. I'm still gonna go see it, but admittedly, I'm not gonna lie, the wind is a little bit out of my sails for this because I was actually pretty hyped to see it. So,
yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised someone in the marketing department didn't go, "Hey, we got this low score. Now we're gonna open it up for some other people," and it's okay because they've already given it low scores. So it's like, I feel like of course you're gonna get low scores. More low scores. Did they really think it was going to go up? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad math.
Funny movie?
Yeah,
I'm just curious because, like, is it because it's like really serious and not funny? That sucks.
I think it's too many characters. We haven't had this point where you have to go back and read some bunch of stuff going on in the chat. It's funny, but we haven't had to go back and do an origin movie with this many characters thrown in at once. And I think there's not going to be enough time for all these characters. Like I think they possibly have bitten off more than they can chew. I don't know. I hope not, because we want it to do well because of everything involved in it, in the diversity in the cast and the director and all that kind of stuff. So it would be a shame. Yeah. Maybe there's a 4-hour cut.
Fixes everything, explains each
character. Yeah. Like the Justice League. Oh, yeah. Justice League arguably had less characters, right? And took 4 hours to kind of actually do what it wanted to do, right? So now you got 2 hours in.
We're not going to get into this argument because you know that this is incorrect. It was supposed to be 2 movies, John. I'm not going to get into this. I cannot defend the Icelandic singers, but aside from that,
no, I'm telling you, it needed that much. It needed that much time. If you took Justice League 4-hour cut, chopped it in half, and released the first 2 hours in theaters, that would be a bad move, and it would not 100% would not have worked, right? So I don't know. Yeah, we could have a whole debate on whether it should have been the 4-part TV series that we thought it was going to be. But yeah,
it would.
RMD, that's the new band.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it was a risk. Yeah, it seemed like a risk from the beginning. Like the first trailer we watched, we were all just like, "What is this? This looks like really slow plotting." So maybe it's more indicative of the first trailer, and they took a risk and
watch out. They're gonna take a bite out of your ass, Chris, and be like, "Yo, it's different."
Kevin Feige's really pissed at you right now, Chris.
It's a love story, guys. Okay, jeez. All right, that was one of the
Chloe,
comments.
In Chloe Zhao, we trust. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you seen
we
any
still
of
watch
her
it.
previous movies? No.
No, fuck, I didn't know. I'm just.
Did she
I'm
do
just
that?
repping.
What did she do?
She won the Oscar for the best
For
picture.
Nomadland, right?
For
Yeah.
Nomadland. Yeah.
Are we
I
still
haven't
watching
seen
that
it.
movie though? We
Who
are.
saw
right?
that? Did anybody watch that?
No.
That's a
Sound
Rob
off in
movie.
the comments if anybody watched Chloe Zhao's other movie.
Whatever. I'm
Okay.
representing. All right. Who cares?
Okay, so slight spoiler alert for He-Man. Was it Revelations
He-Man.
season 1? Yeah, He-Man Lives. The Master Universe.
Is there an
Revelation Part
S?
2.
Or is it just Revelation?
Revelation is, yeah, Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2 released their trailer, and it looks like
Dude, that
He-Man
was sick.
reclaims the power on Netflix on November 23rd. I mean, you guys like the first season of this. Are you hyped for the second one? I know Pat didn't. Pat's not into that, but what do you
No,
guys
he's
think?
fine with it.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, you liked it? Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
He likes the fun on He-Man because it's one of the properties that I like, and he has no interest in it. So
Well,
that's
you know what I
fine.
think
But
about He-Man. My honest opinion about He-Man.
Good.
I
bit,
love
Pat.
it. I love it.
Oh, we got 2 instincts.
That trailer looked hella cool. I will say, I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't do a trailer reaction, John, because that was like amped up. It was like up to like a power of 12. It was crazy.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I mean, I'll try and watch it after.
No, Lewis, he just on his own. See, there back in the day, there was this thing that people used to do.
There's
He'd be
a
like,
bit,
"Oh,
yeah.
one more thing I got to tell you," and you would just hang up the phone. Right? That's what Pat just did.
That's the top tip when people are like, you need to get out of a conversation. Start saying something and then hang up as you're saying it, and they'll think you got disconnected. So
Yeah, it's like last week I actually did it to John. I was like, John, the one thing I wanted to tell you, I want to say you're doing great, and I just
what a d-bag.
Okay, all right, guys. So the
All right.
last bit of news I have, just because it's a Halloween, our unofficial Halloween episode, we got some Bill Murray news. During an interview in a German outlet, FAZ, in which he spoke about his upcoming movie, The French Dispatch, Hollywood legend Bill Murray revealed that he's part of the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. He kind of
Funny how these very obscure publications get these scoops.
Now this is a translation from, I guess, English to German back to English. He basically said, recently I made a Marvel movie, end quote, and then he kind of apparently made a look like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Then he said, I probably won't tell you, but never mind, end quote. And then later on in the interview, he kind of intimated that it was the director that Peyton Reed, who is the director of Ant-Man, convinced him to do the movie. So everyone kind of put everything together and basically said, okay, he's in Quantumania. What do you guys think? A legend like Bill Murray is going to play the villain? You think it's going to be a small role?
Here's the thing, right? It's like you have to step into a role that is not going to distract the audience to say, oh, it's Bill Murray. If you think about Captain America, the Winter Soldier, like the great Robert Redford, right, was in that movie. But you weren't like, oh, it's Robert Redford because of the kind of character he's playing. Same with Glenn Close when she was in Guardians 1, right? And even Julia Louis-Dreyfus when she showed up in
Winter Soldier and Falcon?
Winter Soldier,
Widow.
and then the other movie as well. Yeah, and Black Widow. Like, she embodied a character. You're like, oh, it's not Julie. It's not, it's not Elaine, right? Yeah. And so I do have a little bit of concern because I feel that Bill Murray is one of those actors when he pops up in these cameo roles, you're not thinking about the character he's playing. You're thinking, holy shit, it's Bill Murray, right?
Yeah. Did he play himself in Zombieland?
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he was in
and Space Jam 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. But John and I had just watched Ghostbusters as part of the Sidekick Show last week, and the more recent Ghostbusters that was directed by Paul Feig that had Melissa McCarthy and all the girl Ghostbuster, female version of Ghostbusters, he showed up as a character, just some guy, but you weren't like, oh, it's Hans or whatever his character's name was. You're like, oh shit, it's Bill Murray. Like, this is the thing. So I think certain actors, when they show up in cameos, you can't disassociate that person with that character. To juxtapose it, if John's favorite Fast movie was Hobbs and Shaw, and
Was
when and when Ryan Reynolds shows up in that, at first like, oh my god, it's Ryan Reynolds, but he's playing a character like some CIA guy, a desk jockey, and all of a sudden you kind of like forget that it's Ryan. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I'm a little bit concerned. Bill Murray showing up in a Marvel movie, I think it might break that wall where it's just like,
Yeah.
But maybe he's doing a voice.
I saw some people speculating that he's going to start replacing Stan Lee and cameoing and everything. I feel like that's a stretch.
They wouldn't do that.
I'm like, that's a stretch, folks.
All right, guys. That's the news.
Oh,
that's all
wait,
the news
that's
bits
really
I
good.
gathered.
Lewis just showed maybe he's playing an old Scott Lang. Oh,
Ooh.
because
Oh,
Paul
okay.
Rudd's a little bit funny. He's a funny guy.
That's true.
Lewis, that's a very good
Prediction,
guess. Yeah.
speculation.
Yeah, I feel like he's just gonna play like Rob said. He's just gonna play himself, I guess, or something along those lines.
If
To make
it's
it
gonna
easy.
happen, it's gonna happen in this AntMan movie that they kind of keep. I feel like they keep putting AntMan on the fringe. Like these movies are always a little bit different. Don't
Yeah.
feel quite like the other MCU stuff, but they've taken AntMan and put him in the MCU. But the movie feels like it's not quite there. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting a lot of multiverse stuff, right? We're getting Spider-Man, and then we're getting Doctor
They're attributing
Strange.
everything to this multiverse idea, and I feel like that's an even bigger stretch for the internet to just start calling everything multiverse and everything like that. You're getting out of hand.
Well, you're going from the multiverse and you're going into the metaverse with Mark Zuckerberg renaming the Facebook company the Metaverse. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure we wanted to report on that, but yeah, Facebook is now called Meta. That's it?
Meta, but it's part of the
Metabook?
Meta. No. So Facebook, the app, is still in existence. Instagram,
Okay.
the app, and WhatsApp, the app. But instead of being like Instagram by Facebook, it's not going to be called Instagram by Meta. But he's referring to the entire thing as the Metaverse. And so today they had this big conference, like kind of like an unveiling of their products in their Oculus Rift 9 or whatever the shit they're doing. But essentially, what he wants to do is recreate what we saw in Ready Player One. So
I was gonna say, is this a lead into a series of movies with what's his name from that Facebook movie, Lex Luthor or
Jesse
whatever the hell his
Eisenberg?
name was?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse
Yeah.
Eisenberg.
And then they're gonna like have like a guy like that plays the Instagram guy and like all these guys, and then they're gonna form a super team, and it's the Meta Avengers or Meta League of
No,
America.
They're like combined like Voltron, like
Yeah.
No,
Facebook is the head.
Facebook, Instagram arms.
the actual presentation was ridiculous today. But if you look at the highlights of the video, he's like, you put on these goggles, you can pick your avatar, and then you can meet up with people as your avatar, and you can like it's very Ready Player One. This is what he is pushing for, so that's why he wants to call it the Metaverse. So we're all going to hell. That's really what it is. Pretty soon,
All right.
John, Chris, and I will be doing this from the confines while we're playing Fortnite, while just having this meeting and broadcasting using our special goggles.
And with that is the end of the news bits. We're going to move on to what's up this weekend. Just as a precursor, I'm going to just say there's one major theater release. It's called The Last Night in Soho, which is directed by Edgar Wright. So that's your Halloween weekend kind of release. And then Netflix has Army of Thieves, which is a prequel to Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, focusing on the safe cracker character Ludwig Dieter.
He's the guy
I feel
that
like,
wrote
I feel like the
he
character
wrote
I
and
cared
directed
almost
it.
the least about.
So there you go.
No, apparently this is actually really good. It's got higher ratings than I think the
Yeah. I think
Eternals.
last I
Is
checked,
it
that's
the Queen's
76.
Gambit of safe cracking? Is that what it's going to be?
I
Apparently,
don't
well,
think
no,
so.
but that
It's a
guy,
movie, right? So
yeah, he wrote and directed it. Apparently it's quite good. So I don't know. I might give it a go. Maybe not this weekend, but I'm going to give it a watch.
I think it had about 76 rating last time I checked. So
Yeah,
like you
higher
said,
than
it's
Eternals.
That's better than Eternals. So maybe that's a better use of your time. So yeah, it's interesting that they kind of Netflix, I guess, is building out this universe with Zack Snyder. They got a prequel coming and a sequel to the Army of Dead and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this one has no zombies though. Just like as Chris said, it's like Ocean's 11. It's all about
Very
cracking
exciting
safes.
safe cracking sequences.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so with those two in mind,
Mm.
what do you guys got going on for the weekend? Any recommendations? Anything you're checking out?
John, you want to go first?
I feel like I almost got nothing. Like what are we like? I think the Injustice animated feature might have dropped this week. I don't know. Maybe it's out on bootleg or something. I saw some people buzzing about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm watching the movie that we're going to be watching on Monday on the Sidekick Show, Drag Me to Hell. I'm a little bit into it already, and I'm actually quite digging it. It's pretty cool. So if you guys are in the mood for something a little bit scary, I know it's not as hardcore horror as some of you guys wanted, but that's what we're going to be doing on Monday at 8:15 because Rob
has parental responsibilities and is being a good
Rob.
goddamn parent is what it is. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm currently watching Lock and Key season 2 with my son. And we're by tonight we'll be halfway through. So we're watching that right now. I still plan on watching a couple of horror movies, including Drag Me to Hell. So that's probably and hey, it's Halloween on Sunday night, so kids will be out getting candy for me. And
will they be out? Will people be handing out candy? That's the question.
Sure they will.
It's not canceled. Okay,
we're gonna knock down those doors and say, "Give me your fucking candy." It's the one day of the year that you're supposed to give me candy.
Sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I want your candy that's not being offered from the back of your white panel van.
All right, guys, and with that, we'll end the show. But let's just speaking of candy, what's your guys' favorite Halloween candy? What are you looking for in the bags? Anything?
Is Rob looking for black licorice? Is that his thing? The cast off from all the other kids?
It's not.
I'm at a bit of
Crystal, when we got licorice in our Halloween bag, where did that go? That immediately went to
straight into the garbage, I think. Yeah.
Or two, our nearest white friend.
And I put it in a big bag. Legit. Yeah, retirement home donation, and then we just gotta give it away.
You're assholes. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because my son's got a severe nut allergy. So a lot of those really good candies and chocolate bars we can't have. We usually dump it all out and we sort through a big pile of what he can have. And then everything we've taken away, we supplement with the stuff that we haven't given out yet. So we're really kind of relegated to
it gets recycled, folks.
So we're down to Aero, Coffee Crisp, Kit Kat, and Smarties. Those are really the only things that we can have. So,
okay, so when you were a kid, Rob, what was the bonkerest thing when you would go to someone's house? There was a couple things that come to mind for me. One is full-size candy bar. Of course, you get a full-size candy bar when you're out trick-or-treating. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah. That's your Super Bowl when you're a kid. That's like the greatest moment of your life when you're a kid and you get a full candy bar.
Yeah. Two is a can of pop. I remember people would give out a can of pop, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, root beer!" Pop, right? and then chips started getting phased in. Now they're the norm. I feel like chips are pretty normal. And then
Halloween chips suck, dude. They're like 90% air, like in that bag.
Well, they're always stale. They're always stale. Like I don't know what's up with them. And then the last thing that I see, or we used to get, is a McDonald's gift certificate for like maybe like $5 or something like that.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
And we used to like eat them when we were kids.
That was spaced out before. I think before.
No, we used to get them. They used to be paper. Yeah, and as kids, and I think in our town there wasn't a nearby McDonald's, so it didn't mean anything to us. But now when I think about it, I'm like, $5 at a local McDonald's, that's pretty sweet. I don't know. What made you go bonkers, Rob?
No. Yeah, the big.
Or was it that one guy who wasn't there and left a whole bowl of candy and said, "Take, but leave for everybody else"? And of course,
and
you
just take it all. Yeah.
No, it was the big, like the Mr. Bigs or the O. Henrys, like the full size, right? Because you never used to get the small ones like that. Or the packages of Nerds. It's like people just, I don't know if they just went. When I was in a small town, people just bought like full size stuff and said, "All right, here you get all this shit." There's always the one guy though that always like the dentist. There's always the one house and you didn't know who it was.
Gateway apples.
No, but it was a toothpaste. It was toothpaste with a mini toothbrush and then like a card. And they're like, "Oh, come on, man!"
Like he's doing you a huge favor. Like, I'm saving your teeth,
awesome.
kids.
Chris, what would make you go nuts? Would you be like you? I know you're a big chocolate guy when we were kids. I know you probably don't eat anything.
I don't think they make it anymore. Maybe that's why. I liked. Remember Crispy Crunch? Do you remember that thing?
Yeah.
It's still
It had
around,
like
yeah.
little rice puffs in it. I thought that was really good. And then I always like cherry blasters because I like sour and sweet kind of mixed together. So,
But I used to
Yeah.
like those black and orange Halloween candies that with the wrapper, like the really hard
the candy
toffee.
corn? No,
No, the
What, the
really hard
grape?
toffee. And it had. Remember the wrapper was like of like a cat like on a broomstick.
Yeah,
and you'd
yeah.
unwrap-
Orange. It was orange. Yeah. They were generic. I think they were
Yeah.
like caramelly
Caramel.
things, but they weren't the branded ones. It was like
No.
unbranded.
Yeah.
They're second to maybe the Tootsie Roll nowadays. You're like,
But,
get
like,
this garbage
the
out
thought
of here.
of
It's
it-
probably been around
Part of
since
it
like
hurts my jaw. Or you get like the little individual things of like the small gum, like but they were in the ball. Remember like the small little ball, like gum balls.
yeah.
Get
Gumball
the
or-
individual,
yeah,
the
double
small
bubble
gum
still, yeah.
balls, or like the feet. Remember the
oh yeah,
the red
The
foot,
gummy
red
feet.
foot,
red
Yeah.
foot.
yeah.
Fraser
Swedish-
shouts out the crispy crunch, just like Chris.
Yeah. Swedish berries were good. All those things because you didn't get them very often. Those types of things. Swedish berries or
Score
like
bars.
Sour Patch Kids, obviously, are great. Yeah.
Sarah said she loved giving out candies. I don't know if Lewis is handing out bottles of Tylenol. I feel like that's definitely not allowed. I don't know if
get you on the
Michelle's
news.
saying
That'll
she's
get
giving
you on
away
the news.
edibles.
There was a guy that was here last year up the road from us, and he was giving away. His wife was giving away candies to the kids, and then in the garage, the guy was giving. He had a coffee station for all the adults, but then if you wanted, he also had a booze station to fill up your coffee cup. He goes, "Do you want coffee or do you want this?" And we're like, "Well, we'll go with that instead." So
Adult Halloween, baby.
yeah, it was.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Lewis
And then
likes
he
to
like
hand out
invited us
chips.
in and asked us to drop our keys. It was really weird.
Hey, what if you bought a full size bag of chips and just took a handful out and handed it to everybody?
That's rude.
You should record that.
One
and see how they
cheesy at a
react.
time. One cheesy at a time. And when they look, you're like, fine, 2 cheesies, and you just drop.
Or you're just sitting on your stoop and you just got a bowl of the Cheetos and you're like, yo, you want some, man? Sit down. We're having a beer.
No, you have the bowl and you're eating the candy, and then they go trick or treat, and you go and like, but they're just empty wrappers. I'm like, I'm sure there's more down there. Just keep digging.
Like, oh, is it Halloween? Okay, here, just take some of this. Right? You don't even know. And you wake up in your house is covered in eggs, man.
Oh man! All right, Michelle says
All
she
right.
gives away full size candy bars. God bless her.
We're all going to
respect
Michelle's
Michelle.
place.
Yeah,
Respect to Michelle, yeah.
road trip. Black. Some more shade towards black licorice. Rob, I don't know. This is really weird. This black licorice thing.
I haven't had it in a while.
Hey,
but-
they make it, so someone's got to be eating it. They're not just
Can't
making
just
it
me.
and throwing
No,
it
it's
directly
probably
into
the
like the
excess
garbage
from
stuff.
something. It's like the toxic waste of some other product, and they're repackaging it for
It's
people
like
to eat.
the toxic waste runoff is just collecting somewhere.
Yeah.
They decided to package it.
Rockets, they're old
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Did you guys ever snort rockets?
No, we didn't, you cocaine addict. Rob told this story before. He said, do you guys ever take the rockets and mash them up and snort them like they're cocaine? And everybody else in the chat is like, no, Rob. None of us did that except for Scott. Shout outs to Scott, who's not here. who is a very high ranking profession. So I'm actually maybe it worked. Maybe it did something.
Oh no! One of us got
Get
the
you
short end
straight-
of the stick. Then.
It's the fastest way to get that sugar in your bloodstream.
All right.
Yeah, shout outs to if you guys have ever gone trick or treating in a warmer climate. I did take my kids to Florida one time, and people were so chill. They were actually setting up tables out front. They would have all the candies, and it would just be like a chill session. And you walk by with your kids, and it would be like high and stuff like that. That could have been neighborhood specific or whatever, but that was a really cool experience. Anything else you guys got?
Halloween and winter was like you put your costume on and you got a great costume, and then you got to put your winter jacket over it. And what's the point, right? Like, so yeah, that's Halloween in Canada.
Well, listen, whatever people are doing, I know some people on here, they're taking their kids out, and some people will be handing out candy. So whatever you're doing, I hope it's safe and I hope it's fun.
All
And at most, so I hope the kids enjoy it. So, John, I hope your girls have a good time.
Yeah. My wife's got a whole bunch of stuff planned for at home Halloween, so it should be a blast.
Sweet.
All right, guys.
All right.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, everybody.